Hey. How are you doing? How are you doing tonight, today, whenever you are watching? We are Kingdom Builders Business University. That's right. And myself, me, the CEO of the company, Michelle Green. Welcome to another Wednesday of our episodes to help the elite entrepreneurs learn how to excel in their businesses. That's right. We are here to teach you about business. We are here to teach you about things that maybe you haven't thought of before as an entrepreneur. So, thank you for watching. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click that little bell at the top right hand corner so that you can make sure that you never ever forget another episode of the KBBU behind the scenes. That's right. We are here to teach the elite entrepreneur how to do business the right way. And you don't ever want to miss a Wednesday night's message. You don't ever know who's going to be here. You don't ever know what we're going to even talk about. So you don't want to miss the opportunity to be able to be in the room, honey. That's right. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. Make sure that you go ahead and tell a friend or family member. Make sure that you like and share this video. How many entrepreneurs out there do you know that need guidance, that need understanding? That's why we are here. So we want to make sure that we spread the word and that you spread the word so that everybody will know that we are here to help build the vision for your business. That's right. Tonight we are going to be talking about building the vision. We are talking about the actual entrepreneur that's trying to do business the right way, maybe have a faith-based business, maybe not, but it doesn't matter whether you are a believer or not. What we want to talk about is the fact that we are all alike in the entrepreneur arena. And as an entrepreneur in the arena of finances, in the arena of credit, in the arena of a nonprofit organization, in the arena of multiple businesses, and this actual university that we actually have classes that are starting up. Coming up on November the 5th. That's right, November the 5th, we are going to be doing our bachelor's classes. But we are here just for like every other business. We are here to help make the ride of entrepreneurship easier for you. So let's talk about building the vision. As an entrepreneur, one of the things that I think about a lot is what is the lifestyle of everybody else's business versus how my business works. And when I say my business, of course, this is the Lord's, everything belongs to Him. And the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. So it's all His in the first place. So let's just start right there. When I think about other entrepreneurs out there, I think about what is the perspective that most people have as a business owner when we do decide to tap into that vision, when we decide not necessarily to tap into it, but we begin to cultivate the ideas, the dreams, the journey of what God has put in our hearts. When we begin to think about those things and really begin to act on it, then what tends to happen is it's real easy for us to forget what the foundation or the core basics of our businesses are real quickly because of money, because of time, because of energy, because of clients, because of vendors, suppliers, people that are pouring into our business. And we tend to forget, even if we don't have anybody, even if we don't have a client or two or three, we just get caught up in the mix of being an entrepreneur. So, what I want to say about that is that as an entrepreneur, we got to really slow down and just begin to think about some core basic principles. Because when we're building a vision, it is exciting, it is ecstatic. Like we be on like a high height, we be up in, the sky somewhere, we just be feeling ourselves, we be feeling our businesses. We're so excited. We're definitely, thinking about all of the wonderful things and how it's going to turn out. But the process of building the vision really usually turns out to be something completely different from what we had in mind. See, we have in mind this idea that we are going to build this vision and we ain't really going to have that many responsibilities. We have this idea that we're going to build this vision And all of these people are just automatically going to come into our companies as clients, as staff members, as people who are employees or independent contractors to help us out. We may even have a vision for our family to leave a legacy within generations of our own families. But what tends to happen is building a vision really throws us off when the reality of that vision sits in. See, the real journey of an entrepreneur, the true journey is that when, just like we're doing behind the scenes normally of our classes that we have, the bachelor's class on Wednesdays at, actually our new classes are going to start at 8 o'clock on November the 5th, that you can go and sign up for right now at KBBULLC.com. Go to the website, get signed up because you want to be in the room, right? Okay, but the thing about it is that most entrepreneurs, when we're thinking about building this vision and we are looking at the journey of entrepreneurship, the way that we really envision things to be is usually something that's completely different than what we actually turn out to have. And when I say turn out having, we think of the journey of being an entrepreneur as being a smooth sailing process. We think of it as being something that is really simple and easy for us to understand. And we think of it as something that, is pretty much going to be laid in our hands. And that is completely opposite and couldn't be further from the truth. The real journey of an entrepreneur, especially a faith based or a believer of God in the entrepreneurship business arena, listen, it is a journey of ups and downs. When I look at the background of most entrepreneurs, what I see is that we are really faking the funk. We are people who are walking around and we establish our companies, but we don't even have clientele. We don't even have some of the core basic necessities to say that we are legitimately a business owner. What am I talking about? I'm talking about just some simple things. How many times do entrepreneurs talk about being a true business owner and handle their taxes? How many times do we as business owners say that we are a legit business owner, but we don't even have insurance? We don't have contracts. We don't have anything in place to really protect the companies that we are establishing. See, the thing is that we don't really understand that our businesses are really an asset. And we don't really understand that until we start bringing in clients, until we start making some money, some real money. I'm talking about 6 and 7 figure incomes and higher. And until we begin to realize, like, oh, it's usually not until we have a lot of activity going on in our businesses that we begin to realize, like, did we even save any money for our companies? There are three core principles of being a business owner and really understanding that journey of being an entrepreneur. Like I said, you cannot be a true entrepreneur and decide that you're just going to eliminate some of the basic needs of being a business owner. A basic need is going beyond getting your EIN number. A basic need is understanding why you need an operational agreement for your nonprofit as well as your for profit. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's another reason why you need to go to the website right down below, www.kbbullc.com. It's one thing for you to gather data from a channel, and just like you're watching right now and you're listening and you're thinking about, well, what is she talking about operational agreement? What does she mean about insurance and taxes? What is she talking about saving money within your business for your future self-employment or business ownership? What if you got sick and then there was nobody else to operate your company? What are the policies and procedures that you have in place, if any, so that someone else can take your place while you are not there, while you are not present? See, building the vision and the behind the scenes, just like we are behind the scenes right now, what's going on in your mind every time you are doing business and you don't have anybody there cheering you on, when you don't have anybody there in your corner, and when you're dealing with all of the debts and the inside things that go on within your company that you don't talk to anybody about. What happens to you as a business owner? See, when you talk about building a real vision, when you talk about building the kind of vision like what we do here at KBBU, what we do is we collaborate with you. You know, we just had this big event on October the 11th called the Media and Wealth Summit, and you probably heard about it if you've been watching us, or even if it's just your first time, you can Google it, it's everywhere. But the Media and Wealth Summit was an example of a collaboration because what we understand at KBBU is that to build a vision, you cannot do this alone. And it's too many of us out here that are really truly behind the scenes hiding and trying to pretend like we have teams and trying to pretend like we have people in our business that are clients. We're pretending that we are able to easily make payroll if we are in the position of making 6 or 7 figure incomes. And we're struggling. We're borrowing from our credit cards. We are getting loans and getting into deeper debt than what we already were in. And most entrepreneurs are at least at minimum in $100,000 of debt. That's right, $100,000 of debt alone just in business. Why? Because we are building a lie behind the scenes. We're building a vision, but we're building a vision that is not really truth because we fail to understand that when you are building a actual vision, when you are a business owner, and especially if you have any kind of core foundation that you didn't create this yourself and you didn't create yourself, okay, then you have the mindset that, okay, well, I can show all of this stuff in front of the camera. I can show all of this stuff in front of certain people. I can follow certain individuals online. I can rub elbows with this person and that person. You know, I can rub shoulders, I can bump elbows and all this stuff. I can give them a hug. I can be seen with this person and that person. And what's going to happen is once we rub elbows and we show all of this to the public eye, behind the scenes, the truth of the matter is that we're broke. The truth of the matter is that we're actually not building a vision, but we are building a disaster. And the real foundation of building a vision is to be truthful about your life. Let's just start with number one. We didn't create ourselves. The universe didn't create us because it was also created. So let's just start at that core foundation. Can we be honest with ourselves to say that we were created? We were created, and the things that we have in our lives are not things that we brought upon our own life. We didn't do it. There was something that was on the inside of us. There was something that was pulling and tugging at us that was already there, that was put inside of us when we came into existence, when we came into being. We did not come empty and decide that we were going to create our own life. We didn't come like that. So let's be honest. To build the vision, you got to tell the truth. To tell the truth, you got to really just take everything off the table that you have been believing and saying that this is the right way to do things. And you really got to be honest with yourself. So you start with the foundation. The core is, in order for you to accrue wealth, in order for you to have a wealthy lifestyle and build that vision of entrepreneurship, of being a business owner that's making 7 to 10 figure incomes, then guess what? You got to tell the truth. You didn't do this by yourself. Stop thinking that it was only you. Okay, maybe you didn't have a human being that helped you, but a spiritual being that did. Okay, let's just really be real with ourselves. We did not create our worlds. We did not create ourselves. We were created, and by us being created, there were ingredients that were already on the inside of our being. And when I say some good stuff, I'm talking about some really good stuff was on the inside of each and every one of us. And that's why we have been drawn to be passionate about being a business owner, to be hungry for making sure that we leave the job, or that we go full time in entrepreneurship, or that we keep a job and we work both. Okay? That's why it makes you angry or it makes you cry when you are dealing with certain matters that affect you internally, because why? That's what you were created with. So you cannot eliminate the truth of the foundation. Let's start with the truth. To build the vision, you got to be real with yourself. You got to be real with your core foundation, where it started. Then you are ready to move forward. That's so number two is, when you're building the vision, you cannot lie about your relationships. You cannot lie about the people that you really are connected with and the people that you like and you don't like. You got to be honest about the relationships that you currently have. You got to even be honest about your family. You got to be honest about the things that are going on within your family. And you cannot just try to put up a front and cover up and act like, oh well, I don't own them. I don't control them. They're not a part of my life. Just because you're not speaking to them, just because you might have had a falling out, just because the situation may have occurred between a family member or a friend. You got to be honest to build the vision, because if you're not honest about any of these things, there is always going to be a problem. Okay, so be honest about not just who you were created by, but be honest about the relationships that you have in your life. So many times I see entrepreneurs that are lying about being married, they are lying about being single, they are lying about whatever the scenario is, about hanging out with certain people, with lying about going different places, because they want to portray an image about their business. And there's one person on one side, and it's the same individual that's showing us that they are professional. But then on the flip side, it's another person that we see, which is the same person, that is showing us that they are wilding out and they are going to tell somebody off and they're going to do all of these wild and crazy things that do not go together with being a business owner, with having a vision built so that you can leave a legacy. It does not add up. So let's be truthful, secondly, about the relationships. What are you really doing? What are you really doing as a business owner to tell the truth about the relationships that you're in and the relationships and how they are really going? Don't just get in front of a camera talking about you got all this together and acting like everything is groovy, and then also don't get in front of a camera and tell all of your business, airing out information with family members and friends that they don't even have any affiliation with you. And even if they do have affiliation with you, it's not right for you to get on and tell their stories for them. Okay? So let's cut that out. Let's be truthful so that we can build an actual vision. Because, see, the real journey of being an entrepreneur starts at a foundation of truth. Now, we got the relationships down pat. Okay, well, what about your mental stability? How stable are you as an entrepreneur to build a vision in the first place? Have you ever built anything? What do I mean by building? I mean, have you ever completed anything in your life from start to finish? From the end of the actual vision, when it first occurred in your mind, and consistently stayed throughout the entire time until the vision was finished, have you ever completed it? See, we got to be truthful with ourselves. Many of the entrepreneurs that I deal with, that I talk to, many of us, we are great at seeing that end vision because that vision is so beautiful. It's so great. It is so amazing. We can't wait till we get to the end of that vision, right? But the truth of the matter is that behind the scenes of a entrepreneur's real journey is that they will give up in the first hard thing that comes up in their life. When I say the first hard thing that comes up in your life, what am I saying? When we start the journey of being an entrepreneur, we could be a month in, we could be 2 years in, we could be 5 years in, we could be 20 years in, and it doesn't matter. But the issue that arises to complete the vision is that we are not consistent. We are not willing to count all the costs to see the vision through. So, therefore, we're not being real with ourselves. We're not telling the truth about the situation of the matter. We are fooling ourselves into believing a lie. You cannot build a vision if you are always hopping from place to place and never finishing what you started. You can never build a vision and have that legacy for your family and do all of these things if things are not the truth. Okay? Can I say that again? If it's not the truth, you're not going to be able to build it because you're not going to have the consistency to keep up with the lie. Okay? When you are building a vision and you're talking about doing all of these wonderful things, it's great that you want to do them, but do you even know what it takes to get there? And as you start out on the journey, don't think of it as the sprint. Think of it as the marathon. You ever seen somebody running a marathon and they had to stop after so many miles and take a break? Well, take a break, but don't quit. Don't change up the whole game and start a brand new business. Don't hop from listening to one leader and then going to 10 other leaders and then try to circle your way back around. You got to be consistent. You got to be consistent and follow through with what you first started. In order to build a vision, you cannot be all over the place. Your mind has to be stable, and it has to be stable in the one or two things. What is it that you want people to know you for? What is it that people, when they think of your name, what is it that they think of you doing? What is your specialty? What is your gift? And then how can you accessorize that gift? How can you add accessories to the gift that you have? So when it comes to building the vision, when it comes to us really looking at that journey that we have as an entrepreneur, we got to stop and be real truthful with ourselves with the behind the scenes, the behind the scenes of you lying to yourself. You got to stop lying. You got to be honest. Okay, so we already talked about the fact that when you build this vision, you cannot be lying about the creativity and where it originates from. It doesn't originate from you, it originates from the one that created you. And that's how you have the ability to accrue wealth. Number two, your relationships. What are things in the relationships that you have that you are not being honest about? Maybe you're in a relationship with somebody that you ain't supposed to be in a relationship with, but you over here talking about you building a legacy for your family. That's called cheating, by the way, just in case you didn't catch that. All right. And even if you're not in a relationship where there's any infidelity involved, maybe you are just trying to hide the people that are really there helping to support your vision. But why are you doing that? Why are you hiding the people that are in your actual corner? That does not make any sense, y'all. We got to stop and be real with ourselves. And the third thing is, what are you doing in your business to say that, hey, I'm being truthful about the process of being consistent so that I can really build this vision? See, we think that entrepreneurship is like the greatest thing, and it can be. But we, most of the time, are lying to ourselves so poorly. And then we're looking around and we're really thinking, like, is everybody else going through what I'm going through? Or is everybody else living a different kind of lifestyle than me? And then we get down and out, we get slack. We decide that we're not going to show up the way we first showed up. And then we get tired. And then we just start talking about all this depressive stuff that didn't have nothing to do with at the very beginning of you completing the vision. You can't build a vision off of tiredness. You can't build a vision deciding that, okay, well, I'm going to do this business today, but next month, I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to close it up. I'm going to try something new. I'm going to go listen to this person and that person. You can't build a vision that way. Let's be truthful with ourselves about being business owners. And I don't care if you're a believer or not. It don't matter if you have been in business for a little bit of time, or a long period of time, or a medium-sized period of time. It don't matter. It doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter where your business is. It doesn't matter your product. It doesn't matter your service. What matters is that you got to be truthful with yourself when you are building a true vision. When you are building a legacy, you got to follow through. You can't just decide that I'm going to check out today and I ain't going to check back in until next year. You can't decide that I'm going to commit to doing one thing today, but then 2 weeks down the road, you already stopped. You already finished. Just because what? Because you're listening to too many people. It's too many people in your ear, and it's too many thoughts running through your mind that are inconsistent. Think about what it really would take to finish this vision. What does it really entail? What are the things that you need? What kind of equipment do you need? What kind of resources do you need? And be realistic about achieving those things. Don't come to the table expecting that somebody is going to give it to you. Don't come to the table expecting that somebody got to put it all in your hands and you ain't got to do no work for it. Don't come to the table believing a lie that the world is showing you every day because everything looks all nice and pristine and it's cute and ain't nobody making no errors and that all of the hairs are in place, like my hair keep falling out of place. And what you see on TV, what you see in social media, what you see on the cameras of the people that you're following, it's like they're perfect. But the truth of the matter is, to build a vision, it's going to be messy. It's going to be a roller coaster ride. It's going to be some challenges that you didn't even know that you needed to go through. It's going to be some things that you didn't even know was on the inside of you. Why? Because like I said at the very beginning, you didn't create yourself. And you don't even know what all is on the inside of you in order for you to reach the full vision. So there are stages and phases that you're going to go through. That's why even in grant writing and grantors who provide grants, they want to know your plan in stages. They want to know what in the different phases of your business, how are you doing this thing? But you can't stay focused long enough in order to even get through phase one. You can't even stay focused enough to get through phase 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, because you didn't even realize it was 100 phases that you had to go through. You didn't even realize that this vision of being this great entrepreneur, this elite entrepreneur, this entrepreneur of excellence, this entrepreneur that is a believer of God. We just think that God just supposed to hand us everything. We don't expect to do any kind of work. We don't expect for any kind of consistency of believing in the vision all the way through to the end, regardless of who is in our life and who is not. We take a simple thing like catching a cold and decide that we're out. We take a simple thing like, oh, well, I broke up with this person. Okay, well, I'm done with what I decided to do. We take little, simple, itty bitty, minute things and decide that the vision that we said we was going to build, oh, well, that's gone. We ain't going to build that vision. We're going to build a different one because we got a new idea. Come on, y'all. Like, what in the world? That is not reality of a real journey of an entrepreneur. A real journey of an entrepreneur to build a vision is going to take some sacrifices. It's going to take consistency when you don't feel like it. It's going to take consistency when you do feel like it. It's going to take consistency no matter what. It's going to mean that you're going to have to do things that you don't really want to do. It means that you're going to have to work on your mind sometimes. It means that you're going to have to work on your spirit sometimes. It means that you're going to have to even work on your body sometimes in order for you to get to the vision. To build that vision, you cannot just simply go through your business life and do nothing. And you might be thinking, well, I am that entrepreneur that I've been doing the hard work, Michelle. I have been the entrepreneur. I've been making the sacrifices. Okay, well, what are the results? Because the numbers don't lie. If you're having a problem in the business, there is a breakdown somewhere. So tell me why the results don't equal to the hard work that you say you've been doing. Perhaps it is the fact that you're overlooking something that your clients have been talking to you about forever. Maybe it's something that you are overlooking that maybe your staff have been talking to you about. That is a problem in your company. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a system, maybe it's a process, a procedure, maybe it is the product itself, maybe it is the service that you're providing. Switch it up a little bit. Step back for a minute and begin to look over the company and see what needs to change. This is a time in life where we have to adjust to change. We cannot continue to live the life that we were living, and we certainly cannot be lying, cheating, stealing, and killing in our businesses behind the scenes, thinking that we're still going to build a vision, because that's not how it works at all. To build the vision, you got to be true to yourself. You got to be true to the one that created you. You got to be true to the relationships that you have. And you got to be true to the business itself, the product or service, the procedure, the people that are with you, and the clientele. You got to be true to all of it. Listen, I hope that you pull some nuggets away from tonight's message. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and tell a friend, a family member to listen to this podcast and TV show called KBBU Behind the Scenes. Behind the scenes of what? Behind the scenes of being an entrepreneur. Behind the scenes of all of the classes that we offer every single week. And even though we're out still, we're getting ready to start back up in November for our classes. So make sure you get in where you can fit in. Listen, we still got plenty to teach you about entrepreneurship. So that's what this whole message is about. Every single Wednesday from 9:30 until we get finished, myself, Michelle Green, and the coaches at KBBU, we come on with all kinds of strategies, tips, and just conversation sometimes about what we can do so that we can keep building each other up, so that we can keep reaching that vision, so that we can be truthful and honest about the real journey of being an entrepreneur. Let's be able to analyze everything that was said tonight and just be real about how we need to move forward with our companies. Listen, thank you guys for watching. Like I said, set your notifications so you never ever miss Wednesdays nights at 9:30 with KBBU and Michelle Green behind the scenes. All right, take care. Bye-bye.